Welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about what I carry every day to protect myself and my family, and what steps I go through in order to determine which firearm is most applicable to my lifestyle. In order to properly make that decision, you have to conduct a threat analysis and analyze your pattern of life and ask yourself a couple key questions, like how often do I go into public? How long do I stay in public? How long am I away from my vehicle or friends? How long would it take me to get home to get resupplies? How long would it take me to get to a hospital? Do I need to keep supplies in my truck? These are all questions when considering your everyday carry. If you ask yourself those questions and give a very honest answer, it's pretty easy to determine that you need to carry a firearm legally to protect yourself and your family. Now, every state's different, but a quick Google search will be able to tell you the proper steps you need to take in order to obtain your concealed carry permit. Let's go over some fun stats about concealed carrying a firearm. So according to a recent survey by the FBI in 2019, 400,000 life-threatening violent crimes are prevented by the presence of a firearm. Furthermore, data pulled from the National Crime Victimization Survey says that 67,000 victims say their attacker stopped due to the presence of a firearm, even without the discharge. Although I wouldn't recommend it, statistically you're safer just having a firearm even if it's not loaded. Last but not least, 60% of convicted felons admitted that they avoided committing crimes on victims that they knew were armed, and the other 40% said they avoided committing crimes on victims that they believed to be armed. I hope by now you can see that having a firearm, even if you don't use it, is the best way to protect you and your family. So in this video, I'm going to show you my everyday carry and why I choose to have it set up the way I do. Okay, so first and foremost, the gun that I choose to carry every day is a Glock 43. I chose a Glock for, in my opinion, obvious reasons, for durability, reliability, and options. So I chose this platform. Glock 43 is a single stack magazine, which means when the rounds go in, they stack on top of each other vertically, so the magazine is thinner than a traditional magazine. And I have my 34 magazine here, so you can see that is the double stack, and this is a single stack, so you can see the width difference. And that's really important. The overall width of the weapon is really important because you're going to be having it most likely inside of your waistband. And when your shirt is over it, if it's too thick, it'll print, and it'll expose that you have a gun underneath your shirt, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a concealed weapon. On top of that, I toss in a threaded barrel. Gives me about a half an inch of barrel than your standard Glock 43, which increases a little bit of muzzle velocity, a little bit of accuracy. Not very much, but why not? I have aftermarket S3F slide. Reason for that is just pure weight reasons. I'm going to be carrying this around on me and doing everyday life activities, so I want it as light as possible. And in the event that I'm using it, it'll run faster because the spring can push the slide back and chamber in the next round much faster because the slide is so light. I also have Trijicon night sights, so these glow in the dark. So the accessories that I run on this is a TLR6, which is a Streamlight light laser combo, ambidextrous pressure switch, so you can hit it on both sides. Right and left hand shooters can press it, and it's got a light and laser combo. I run Agency Arms competition trigger, flat faced, so you can see the flat face, and this is actually a trigger safety, so if I press the trigger, it won't go off, and you have to squeeze the D10 on the trigger for it to go off like your standard Glock. But the Agency Arms trigger offers the same feature, as well as this. I run a Vickers Tactical +2 base blade, so the standard Glock 43 mag can hold 6 rounds. With this, I can hold 8 + 1, so overall I got 9 rounds. So I don't run an optic on my concealed carry weapon. All my other pistols I do, but on my concealed carry I don't. The main reason is because most concealed weapon gunfights, if you will, happen between 0 and 6 feet. So it's very reactive and very reflexive. So, most likely I'm not even going to be really using my sights. It's going to be more of point and aim, which I've kind of perfected in training. And I definitely recommend training your concealed carry draw and training your concealed carry weapon, because it is different than your standard range gun, if you will. But I've gotten pretty good at just drawing and shooting from the hip, essentially between 0 and 6 feet, and be able to put rounds on target. So I feel pretty confident that I can defend myself. But I don't run an optic for that reason, and I also run the stippling. I can do it if you guys are interested, or you can find somebody local that can do a stippling for you. But if it's raining, if you're sweaty, you can get a better grip if it's wet. But more importantly and more applicably, if you miss grips when you draw from your inside the waistband holster, not every time you don't really get a good grip on the pistol. So if you have a stippling, just a little bit will allow it to grip and help you draw that pistol safely. And as we talked about earlier, just presenting a firearm in a deadly situation could be enough to deter an attacker. So really, when it comes down to concealed carry, it comes down to reliability, quickness, and effect. So last but not least is size. It's incredibly small. It fits in the palm of my hand, basically. It's incredibly thin. It's a roll of duct tape. I'll show you guys how thin it is. And it comes in 9mm. And if you guys want to know my opinion on 9mm, but I believe it is the superior caliber on the market. If you guys want to see a video on my rankings of pistol calibers and why, just comment below and I can make a video on why I support you guys carrying 9mm to protect you and your family. But that's a different conversation I want to get into. But overall, my everyday carry, I give it to the Glock 43. I definitely think that if you buy a 43, you should get some aftermarket accessories, because out of the box it is a great gun, but you can make everything better. And if you guys want to have any questions or have any other suggestions, just comment below and we'll go from there. Thanks for stopping by.